Hello. Okay, so I am using Seint makeup. It is all customizable to your skin tone. Everything fits into these cute little compacts. You can get them smaller than this. You can get them bigger than this. Everything is magnetic, so they pop in and they pop right out. And you can use these tins to the very smallest amount of makeup left. So there's tons of tips and tricks that I am going to show you with Seint makeup. But first, let's get into a normal hack, which is called a highlight and contour. So the only thing I have on my face right now is primer. I primed my face with the e.l.f. Where did I put it? With the e.l.f. Blemish Control face primer. Use a teeny bit and apply it all over your face. I am going to use one layer of makeup. Ooh, the sun is getting bright in here. And I'm going to start with my contour shade. So I am using Ash, and I'm going to use the pointy side of this 3D brush. And I'm going to get some of that product on my brush. And when you're doing contour, you are trying to create shadows and dimension on your face. So you're going to start at either the top of your ear, or you can kind of feel for your cheekbone, that bottom of your cheekbone, and you can put it there. And so you're just gonna draw this line on your face. Don't worry about it being super precise and straight, but you are gonna kind of hug that cheekbone, okay? And go up to the top of your ear. And then just make it, if you want it a little bit darker, you can, but build it up to the shade you want, but a little goes a long way. So instead of, applying a bunch, just apply a little and go from there. Okay, so if you look at my face straight on, you can already tell that this side of my face is starting to look a little bit more chiseled out and a little bit slimmer. That is what your contour is going to do. I'm going to get a little bit more on my brush, and I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Okay, so we have just wrapped that around that cheekbone. Now I'm gonna flip to the bigger side of my brush and get a little bit more contour on my brush. And I'm going to put this on the top of my forehead. Now keep in mind, the reason that you can use just one layer of makeup with Seint is because all of our shades have coverage in them. If you hear noises in the background, my dogs are, I don't know, she's going crazy on the bed over there. So as you see that little acne spot right there, I'm just gonna dip my finger in my contour shade and kind of just concentrate it right there, just to cover that blemish. And I will blend everything at a later step, but for now I'm just gonna leave what I have on my face like this. Whatever is left on my brush, I'm just going to take down my jawline. And then I'm just gonna get a little bit of contour on my middle finger to contour my nose. I guess she found a spot that she thought was comfortable. And I'm gonna kind of just wrap that contour around the ball on my nose, and I take it up to about my eyebrows. Okay? And then I'm just gonna take a teeny bit and put underneath my lip. And then I have a towel here so I can wipe my fingers off on it. Now we're gonna move to step 2, and I'm gonna stick with the same brush throughout this process, and I'm going to move to my main highlight shade, or what other people may call foundation. I'm gonna move to the bigger side of my brush. If you have a brush cleaning tile, which I actually don't have one in this compact, I highly recommend getting one from the Seint website, which I can post in this video as well. It's really nice when you're switching from shade to shade, so you don't transfer shades on your face. All right, so bigger side of the 3D brush, I'm going into my main highlight, getting some of that on there. And I'm going to put that right underneath my contour. I'm gonna take it right above my lip, taking it on the sides of my nose a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing over here, going right underneath that contour shade. If you have watched any of my videos or if you have seen me done my makeup live, you have heard me say a million times probably that you want to ensure that your colors are soft and creamy, because if they feel hard and you feel like you're digging for product, one, your application might not go on as easily as it should, and you're probably going to be wasting product. So you can take a blow dryer and just blow dry your colors for a couple seconds on a low heat to get them a little bit more soft. So I'm going to switch to the smaller side of the brush. And I'm just going right above, just a little bit, that contour shade. And then I'm gonna do the same thing right above my brows. I'm just taking that shade just a little bit right there. So you can tell I don't have makeup here. I don't have any between my contour shades underneath my eyes. We're going to fill that with another color. So right now I'm just gonna kind of go back and make sure that any shade that I put on my face as far as my foundation shade is blended in. And we will blend the contour a little later once I have my last two shades on. Okay. So we have that there. I'm now gonna go ahead and move on to my lip and cheek shade. So the cool thing about our lip and cheek shades is you can put them on your lips as a lipstick, you can use them as a blush, but you can also use them as an eyeshadow if you decide you want to. So I'm gonna stick with the bigger side of the brush. I'm using Hollywood lip and cheek shade, and I'm just gonna put it right above that contour. And I always just start out with a little bit. I will blend that, and then if I need more, I can always go back. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in circular motions and kind of take my brush back over that contour and just bounce the brush off my face to blend, okay? Same thing for the other side. Go in a circular motion and then just bounce the brush off your face to blend in that shade. Now, I want a little bit more pop on my cheeks, so I am gonna take just a little bit more Smile and just put it right there on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm kind of just feathering that back to keep that shade there. All right, so the last step of the colors that you may put on your face. So I'm gonna go to this shade right here, which is another highlight color, but it's called your accent or your brightening shade. I'm gonna take the pointy side of this brush. I'm gonna get some of that on there. This is actually my favorite part because I have dark circles under my eyes, and to only have to apply one color makes life so easy. And it stays throughout the day and it looks great. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the big side of the brush and I'm just gonna bounce the brush off my face to blend this highlight shade or this brightening shade. And everything I need is in this little compact. And I will show you, I also put some bronzer in there. I put an illuminator, and I put a easy little eyeshadow look in there. So I will show you that too. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and blend in my forehead contour. So I'm brushing that into my hairline first. And then I'm kind of just pressing it in. Okay, so now I'm gonna go just a step further and I'm going to show you a little bit of bronzer. So I'm using Heat Waves bronzer, which is my favorite. A little goes a long way. This bronzer is going to last you way over a year, even if you use it just about every day. So I'm putting it on the high parts of my forehead. I'm going to come right here. And then I'm just gonna kind of blend that back. So the difference between contour and bronzer, and I get this question quite a lot, quite frequently, is contour is going to create the dimension and the bronzer is going to give you the warmth. So then I just take that and kind of brush it on the high parts of my cheeks. And those are the only places I really put it. Sometimes I will take it down my neck just to ensure that, you know, my neck isn't a different shade than my face, depending on how much warmth it has brought to my face. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add a little bit of illuminator. I'm using Angel Illuminator. I'm just gonna take my finger, and when it's a cream, because we have cream and powder illuminators, the creams I prefer to use my fingers, the powders I like the brush. The powders are a little bit more pigmented than the creams. I'm gonna take a little bit down my nose. You put a little bit here. Now we're gonna add a little bit of lip color, and I'm going to use Love Spell. And then we're gonna just make sure that this contour is blended. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and just make sure I push in that illuminator so it looks a little bit more natural on my face. Okay, so we have our whole face done. We are going to go ahead and set it while we do our eyes. And I'm using Coty Airspun, which is one of my favorites. It's super cheap from just about any drugstore. I'm going to use the powder brush. And I'm going to bake my makeup. So what does that mean? Is I'm using a loose setting powder, which is Coty Airspun. I am grabbing a decent amount on my powder brush, and I'm going to just let this sit on my face while I do my eye look. Now, we have brushes that will give you full coverage. We have brushes that will give you minimum coverage, medium coverage. We have a brush called the Buff Brush, which will give you like a flawless look. So they're all brushes for different things. If you feel like you need a little bit more of color correcting, maybe you have, you know, some redness, maybe you have melasma, maybe you have acne, maybe you have dark circles, just reach out to me and I can help and I can recommend something for you. Okay, so now we're going to use Bubba and Foxy. It's a super easy, fun eye look. I'm going to use my eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna get some of Bubba on one side of my brush, tap off any excess. I'm gonna start just keeping my eye open because this is the color that people are going to see when I'm talking to them. So I want to make sure that I don't start it too far down and then you can't see it. And I'm taking it up to about my brow bone, but I'm also doing my whole lid. So look at that color. It's really pretty just alone too. Same thing here, keep my eye open. Just windshield wipering it back and forth. Gonna do the whole lid. And you can just build this color up to whatever preference you want. Just start out light and add and build up, which I will say that with any shade or any, even the lip and cheeks, any color. Okay, so then I'm gonna take this color right here, which is Foxy, and it is a shimmer. So I'm just gonna use my finger and just place that in the inner and middle of my lid. And I do like to always brush it up so you get to see the shimmer as well. Like if you're talking to someone or if they're looking at you. And then I always take my brush and just blend it out a little bit. And then if you wanted to go a step just a little bit further, I'm not going to do it, but you could take a darker shade. So let's just say Oak or Trust, and then you could just use it in the outer corner. And then if you wanted to put color on your, like right underneath your, or on your brow bone, you would go from a casual look to a night out with the girls. I'm going to use Thrive Mascara. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my 3D brush and I am going to wipe off this excess powder. And I'm just swiping it in the areas that I didn't set. So basically my contour areas. And that's that. If you want to be color matched, I will also put my email in here and you can send me an email to be color matched. Have a good one.